We are Team Alpha. I am Kristen Kitzel.
And I'm Alex Jones.
For assignment 2, we are looking at the topic of earth science. In the Pennsylvania Academic Standards for grades pre-K through 8th grade, this area of study is covered by 3.3 Earth and Space Sciences. 3.3a covers Earth structure, processes, and cycles. 3.3b covers the origin and evolution of the universe.
All right, so under the structure, processes, and cycles, I'm going to start with the first unit here. And the first one is the Earth's features and the processes that change it. So in kindergarten, students will need to be able to distinguish between 3 types of earth materials: rock, soil, and sand. And in 3rd grade, students need to explain and give examples of the ways in which soil is formed. One common misconception that students may have is that soil that we see today has always existed. Then in 7th grade, one of the goals is for students to define basic features of the rock cycle. So we found 2 videos on YouTube that show the rock cycle well, and the links are there below.
The second unit of study is Earth's resources and materials. In 3rd grade, students need to identify the physical properties of minerals and demonstrate how minerals can be tested for these different physical properties. We found several good resources at geology.com. There are pictures of different types of rocks and minerals.
All right. The 3rd unit of study is Earth's history, and in 4th grade, students must recognize that fossils provide evidence about the plants and animals that lived long ago and the nature of the environment at that time. So the National Park Service has created a cool lesson plan on how living things become fossils. So that link is there below.
The 4th unit of study is water. In 1st grade, students must identify and describe types of fresh and saltwater bodies, including oceans, rivers, lakes, and ponds. There is a good lesson plan on fresh and salty water at teachengineering.org. One misconception that students may have is that most rivers flow down from north to south. In 3rd grade, students must connect the various forms of precipitation to the weather in a particular place and time. There are a few misconceptions that students may have about precipitation, including that rain comes from holes in clouds, rain comes from clouds sweating, and clouds move because we move.
All right. The 5th unit of study is weather and climate. And in 5th grade, students must be able to differentiate between the terms weather and climate. They must explain how the cycling of water both in and out of the atmosphere has an effect on climate. NASA has actually provided some information on the water cycle at the link there, and also a video about the Earth's water cycle.
The 6th unit of study is unifying themes. In 7th grade, students must locate significant geological structures using various mapping representations, describe changes in atmospheric conditions associated with various weather patterns, and describe geological time as it relates to Earth's processes.
And the 7th and final unit of this section is science as inquiry. An understanding of science content is enhanced when concepts are grounded in inquiry experiences. Students are learning by asking and answering questions. For example, students in grades K through 4 must distinguish between scientific and fact and scientific opinion. They also must ask questions about objects, organisms, and events. Students in grades 5 through 7 must understand how theories are developed. They also must identify questions that can be answered through scientific investigations and evaluate the appropriateness of those questions.
3.3b covers the origin and evolution of the universe.
All right. The first unit of study is composition and structure. And in 3rd grade, students have to observe and record the location of the sun and the moon in the sky over the course of a day, and then also changes in the appearance of the moon over a month. In 4th grade, students have to relate the rotation of the Earth and the day-night cycle to the apparent movement of the sun, moon, and stars across the sky. There are some good resources that we found at teachearthscience.org. That's a PowerPoint presentation and student data sheet. Now, students may also have some misconceptions, just as we saw in the videos we watched earlier. that maybe the Earth is larger than the sun, or that seasons are caused by the Earth's distance from the sun, or that phases of the moon are caused by Earth's shadow from the casting on the moon, and that the sun goes around the Earth.
The second unit of study is unifying themes. Students in fifth grade have to provide evidence that the Earth revolves around or orbits the sun in a year's time, and that the Earth rotates on its axis once approximately every 24 hours.
All right, and the third and final unit of this is science and inquiry as well. Students are learning through asking and answering good questions. For example, students K through 4 must understand that all scientific investigations involve asking and answering questions and comparing the answers with what is already known and accepted. Students in grade 5 through 7 must design and conduct scientific investigations and understand that current scientific knowledge guides scientific investigations.
Earth science is a fascinating area of study. There are many interesting topics that are covered in grades pre-K through 8th grade. We have given several examples of these areas covered today.
All right, thank you.